What's good? Happy Monday. How's it going, brother?
How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. It is Monday. And, we did this last time and it was a great night on a Monday night. We normally go Sunday nights. So we're experimenting with the Monday night vibe again. So, crowd wise, Webster's Vault, thank you for jumping in, brother. We always
Hey, you
appreciate
know what? You know what? I see you, sir. You know what? And it is as long as you're bringing the buns. You got the buns. You got the weenies, my friend. Okay.
Oh man, so much has happened in this last week though too. Especially for us, but as nerds in general. LaCruz says, as always,
How are you,
and
sir?
brother, every single time, Harris Family
Yes.
Hobbies,
What's up, bro?
brother, that belt's never big enough. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, Dan. Yeah, it's been a heck of a week. So, I feel like we should probably just roll credits and get freaking going. What do you think?
Let it rip.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Thank you everybody who's joined tonight.
That shit gets better every week.
Every single time. Every single time. So, my friend, I will let you pick the first course of topic tonight to cover. What do you feel like is the first thing we should hit on tonight? Because we got a few things. We got a few things.
Let's go into the Guardians. Let's go into
All
the
right,
Guardians.
because this was some hot takes that we were having beforehand, and I was just feeling like time out. Let's just say this for the show because we're gonna get all this anger out right now, and nobody's going to be able to see rage. You're just gonna listen to Phil rage late, and that's just no fun because I'm looking like the regularly scheduled a-hole on this show. Meanwhile, what you guys don't know is this man can do it too. He can do it. He's got a very public persona. He tries to
Don't
provide,
believe anything this guy says. Okay, I'm a
but
nice person.
it goes down. It goes down. So I will let you tell me your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
So I went with my family when it came out. We took the wife. It was a good time. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the better movies in the past year. Now,
Yes.
I mean
100%.
that's not saying much because there's not much really to compare it to.
No. There's
Um,
only been 3.
I mean, Spider-Man No Way. What do we say? Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi, yeah.
and Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? I mean, that's about it. Nothing else really is worth talking about, in my
No.
opinion.
No,
Um,
nothing else touches those 3, and in all honesty, they are all hits in different ways, right? Totally different, like Shang-Chi was a fantastic origin, the best origin we've had in a while since Black Panther, in my opinion. Obviously, Spider-Man No Way Home was just every nostalgia vibe that could ever be capitalized on in any way, shape, or form.
it's hard to
And
top
and
Spider-Man No
and
Way Home. I mean,
it's hard.
let's be honest.
It's
What,
hard, man.
25 years of
Mm.
projects meshed together in a perfect looking puzzle? Come on. Come
That
on.
was ridiculous. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a wrap up. I mean, like if I had to compare them each on their own, I they all hit in perfectly different ways. But unfortunately, that's like you said, not saying much for the last year. But overall, it was still good. It was still top 10 for me. Still
So,
top
I
10.
mean, I'm just gonna come out the gates blazing. One of my biggest complaints with the movie is they kind of pulled like an Infinity War on us, right? Where you thought Hulk was going to be in the battle, he wasn't. You kind of thought somebody was going to die. Nobody died. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm kind of happy nobody died, but at the same time, there's already been actors and actresses pretty vocal. No James Gunn. I'm not going to do this. So, I mean, I kind of wanted somebody to die. Like, if I'm being honest,
Yeah.
I don't wanted somebody to die, bro.
And I can appreciate that. However, I can say too something that we've been debating over this last year. that's been driving us nuts is that we can't have the heroes ride off into the sunset. Why can't we have a Marvel movie where the hero doesn't have to die? They just go their separate ways. They just, I mean, that happens sometimes when you're these collection of rogues. They're all classically kind of known to just kind of go dissolve and go their own way when they need to. And that's kind of the beauty of what I enjoy. I enjoyed of the older movies back in the day, those old westerny kinds of things where the good guy just kind of gets on his horse, rides off into the sunset, and we get that moment. And we haven't had that in Marvel. And don't tell me Captain America, because that's bullshit. That wasn't a ride off into the sunset. That was just that was the worst end for me. That was like the worst ending possible. But I'm I like to see my heroes get their happy endings. So for me, I wasn't disappointed. I
Okay,
was
so
definitely
touche then. If that's the
constantly looking
case,
for it.
another one of my complaints with it, I would have liked to have seen Star Lord and Gamora get back together. Just saying. I'm a little bit
Yes.
romantic, and
Yes. That
that
would have
one
been the
kind of hurt for me.
happier. Yeah.
That one
No, I
kind of hurt
agree.
for me. I would have liked that.
I would have liked that. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. As far as where it will go from here, I did like to see, though, at the same time, what Mantis's rendition and spoilers, like Peter, you jump from lily pad to lily pad in this small pond, and you spend all this time on those lily pads, and you've never learned how to swim for yourself, right? So when I heard that, I was just like, you know what, that's a really good analogy. She Mantis had delivered, and I appreciate that. I enjoyed an ending. I enjoyed a movie that felt like a standalone movie. I get really tired of everything having to be tied in to each other, especially when the MCU is as it has been lately. I can appreciate the fact that we got to watch a movie that I didn't have to see 40 episodes of other things that I didn't really enjoy. And yeah, so that's probably the one thing I did enjoy about it. And I can see too in the comments, and I know
We're gonna get to that part. We're gonna get to that. But before we get to that, I want to go back to somebody dying part. Okay. Shout out to Eris, Variant Comics. He mentioned this. I didn't even think about this, but we were talking about this backstage. Star Lord, right?
Mhm,
Guardians of the Galaxy 1. We see this guy with his helmet.
mhm.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He's got the helmet, he's got the rocket boots. Infinity War, Endgame. This guy, he's got a helmet, he's got rocket boots. Why no helmet and rocket boots in this movie? That would have helped him when he was in space.
So
It's
Star-Lord has
like
not had the
convenient.
rocket boots. He has not had the rocket boots since Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when Rocket gave them
He
jetpacks.
had him in
Okay.
Endgame, and he had him in Infinity War.
He had a jetpack. He didn't have rocket boots.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it, but
Rewatch it. He
Cat,
hasn't had it since Guardians
Cat
of the
talked to
Galaxy
me.
2. I watched the response from James Gunn on it with the movies. So people have pointed that out to him, and he actually took to Twitter with all the parts and pieces. So James Gunn, Rocket made jetpacks. He has not had that since Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The rocket boots went away after the first movie.
Okay, so the
The helmet,
Raccoon can make gravity boots, but he doesn't make a jetpack.
the helmet, yeah, well, he only made them for Rocket. Rocket only had the gravity boots, but he did have his earpiece, and they say that he left in such a rush because he was so distraught with Rocket that he left it behind. He didn't remember it because he woke up from his drunken stupor. Rocket's dying, and movie starts. Right, so that was what James Gunn says.
And
That's the
I
explanation.
call BS there. I remember Guardians of the Galaxy 1 as unorganized and amateur as this guy was. Okay, he still made sure he had his stuff. He had everything. Made sure he even had a damn Walkman. Okay, this guy forgot he had a girl sleeping in his damn ship, for crying out loud, that he banged the night before. You're telling me this guy's forgetting all his favorite? We're talking about a guy that's very materialistic. Okay, this guy stayed back just to get his damn Zune, for crying out loud. And you're telling me
I
he forgets his
just
damn helmet and
I'm
his.
just telling you the synopsis. I whether or not I think it's a great excuse, no. It's just, the classic hindsight rewrite. But yeah, it was supposedly because it's not the Milano. He doesn't live on the Milano anymore. He has a real home with a real place and all that stuff. Now, granted, he was right across the street from nowhere the entire time because it came to him. So I totally get the beef. I totally get the question, but I still enjoyed the movie. You know, every movie's got plot holes. Star Wars has
I
plot
still enjoy
holes.
the movie, but it's like, dude,
Endgame has
you're making me
Endgame
think the
has
whole movie
countless
somebody's
plot
gonna
holes.
die. This guy
Everybody,
actually looks like he's gonna die, and all of a
yeah,
sudden we get like a Michelangelo Da Vinci moment.
yeah.
Like, come
The
on, bro,
only one moment
you're
for Adam
killing me
Warlock to
here.
come in use. That the only one time for Adam Warlock to become a useful tool in the movie. Yes, I agree with that. But I mean, at the same time, too, this is James Gunn. And if you actually know James Gunn, plots are only so thick and only so perfect. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Scooby-Doo 1, and we gave him DC. So I'm sorry. I don't know what people are expecting, but
I'm expecting, knowing that it's his last one, that he would just go and like kill half the team and leave us on like an Infinity War cliffhanger. Like, shit, what
this
just
is his
happened?
last thing, and he wants to leave the door open for everybody. And I know Dave Bautista said no James Gunn, no Drax, but at the same time, too, James Gunn has said I'm not taking myself out of Marvel movies in the future. I'm open to doing Marvel movies in the future. If the DCU works out, he may never have to. He's not stupid. He's a smart man. But he left that open
And
for all of his
I do want
actors
to
too.
address. I do want
He
to
left
address.
that he left that open for all of his actors though too. So for me, in my mind, it makes sense from a standpoint of a happy ending, the ability for us to move forward, and at the same time too, that was still one of the most brutal Marvel movies I've ever taken a child to. There was all kinds
I had
of
to cover my kids' eyes.
darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, darkness, F-bomb. This is definitely by far 100% the darkest Marvel movie, and everybody's
I
still
didn't mind the
bitching
F
that it
bomb
wasn't dark
because
enough.
as a
Actually, no, that's
as
my
a
beef.
parent, I slip up from time to time. I'll be honest about that, but I definitely covered my kids' eyes when they took off RoboCop. I mean, the High Evolutionary's
Yeah,
face.
yeah,
Um,
oh yeah,
that was pretty intense. I
yeah.
must.
My biggest beef is that Marvel fans are turning into Star Wars fans. We can't have anything nice. Everybody's got to be pissed about something still. Honestly,
Yeah. Hey, can we talk
that's
about Warlock? Can we talk about Warlock?
yeah. Well, we got to be mad. So yeah, let's talk about Warlock. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, because everybody's mad it's not comic
he
accurate,
was
but
pretty. He
Star
was
Lord
pretty.
is
He was
not
pretty
comic
awful.
accurate at all.
Can we say that he was pretty awful?
I don't think the acting was horrible. I think the writing was crappy. I don't have a problem with the rendition that was played. That was the part it was written for. That was again James Gunn. I mean, Star Lord
And
is a
I get that
prince.
he was born yesterday. You know.
Ego was a planet, not a celestial. We've got a lot of different things that James Gunn plays with, and obviously that's 100% one of them. Sebastian, yeah, I don't think Warlock was any fun at all. I didn't have any care for him, period. He was just kind of he was a useless tool to just show up at the end and bring somebody in to hopefully have a more rounded cast that people care about. It wasn't a good introduction. I don't believe so. But at the same time too, I don't I don't trust James Gunn for an introduction. I don't go to see his movies to feel like, boy, it's a good thing James Gunn got to handle that. you know, I wasn't. I
Z,
wasn't.
how are you? By the way, I met Z in Las Vegas. Pleasure to hang out.
She's good people. I haven't gotten to meet her yet. I missed her when I was in
Fantastic
Las
people.
Vegas.
Fantastic people.
I was disappointed in myself. I got sick and then I didn't have time and I went out to Torpedo and I missed Steve and it sucked. But the one person in Vegas, well, there's about 3 or 4 people in Vegas I got to catch up with, but I missed the 2 of them, so that sucked. But yes, I agree. He was naive. He wasn't naive. He was a dumbass. I
I don't
agree
know.
with that.
I just think he I don't even know the right word to describe. I mean, maybe dumbass.
It was a useless character. It was a useless character.
Maybe dumbass is right. I mean, I find it hard to believe that too, that he was able to like literally subdue Adam Warlock with his abilities, but then when it came time for him to fight against the Guardians of the Galaxy, they were able to take him down so easily, right?
Well, that's because Rocket had that thing that turned him off, right? That turned off his, he Rocket was ready. Rocket knew him. Rocket had that little thing he tapped that with his gravity boots, pulled it down, hit him, and they started going to town at that point. So they had him off guard. Rocket had the gravity boots. The gravity boots are what did it to pull him down. And that was what Rocket was ready for. But I mean, at the end of the day, that was probably the best villain I've had in a minute that I just could openly hate. And I didn't have to like care for. That's one of the things I do that does annoy me about Marvel movies is that everybody has to care for the villain. I don't need to care for him.
Oh, he was savage. He had no problem annihilating an entire planet.
Oh, and it was so awful what he did to the rest of Rocket's crew. What was it, Batch 89 or whatever it was?
Oh, he just incinerated anything he didn't like. Yeah.
Well, it was the way he shot them in the shootout scene and everything else. That was so hard seeing Lila. And that's again James Gunn. He goes back to bring he brings Velma back to be the actress that played Velma and also the wife of Hawkeye. She's the name I can't remember her name, but Lila. Yeah. So that was her voice. So, James Gunn likes his people and he uses them over and over and over again. But yeah, I know, Z. I'm a complete dick. It was terrible. I showed up at the shop thinking I was going to catch the show. I showed up at the shop thinking I was going to catch the show and I totally missed it. Yes, Linda, thank you, LaCruz. I always appreciate you. Yes.
Corey, how are you?
Corey, welcome, brother. I don't know. I mean, okay. I thank you, Swag. Somebody else agrees with me. I'm tired of everybody has to be
villain. I agree. I shouldn't like the villain.
I agree with Thanos or Loki is my boy or I don't need any of that shit. I'm tired of it. Make bad guys bad again.
I don't know. I'm going to stop you there because I do think Thanos was onto something. Just
no, Thanos wasn't. It was ridiculous. Just kill off half the universe. It's going to come back again. It was the stupidest. I'm going to get rid of half the universe for hunger. I mean, dude, we're in. Okay, snap and make food plentiful for everyone. Thanos was an idiot. Thanos was right. No, just he could do anything. Snap your fingers and make the worlds twice the size. Okay, why do you got to get rid of half the life? That was the biggest plot hole.
That's a good point. He could have snapped and made another Earth for us to live on too. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to double the size. Biggest plot hole.
I like where Phil's going here.
biggest plot hole in Marvel and the whole, everybody, the Russo brothers are gods. That was the stupidest reason to kill off half the universe. It was just like, not enough food. What? You could do anything.
We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
But I do feel like though a movie was top 10. It was definitely top 3 since Endgame, but top 10 to me. That it just cracked top 10, and it's only because it just beat out Shang-Chi for me. That was it. Because let
me ask you this: do you think it's better than Volume 1 or 2?
No. Yes, 2. Better than 2, not better than 1. No. Because
I agree.
One was magic, dude. Nobody gave a shit about the Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. Nobody did. Everybody was just like, what? when Feige announced it? Come on, you even had to have sat there and been like, who?
No, I was like, wait, what are we doing here?
I didn't care. I mean, I'll be honest.
You know what it was that made me instantly love Guardians of the Galaxy though was the music. Just saying.
Oh yes. As soon as it started out with the entire scene of him just walking around kicking the little freaking rat things that they're all eating then for the rest of the movies, I love that. They're racing and running around, then all of a sudden we're eating them. But yeah, I think it was better than 2. 2 was good, but it wasn't top 10. It wasn't top 10 Marvel to me. I'm sorry, Z. I apologize. I'm just like letting you down left and right now. What do you think, Theo? I mean, was it better than 2? You're seriously thinking about it that long and hard?
Well, I'm thinking about the moments.
I was hoping his computer froze.
Well, no, I'm thinking about the moments in 2, and I'm thinking about the moments in 3. Honestly, I would say they're
The
probably about
moments in
tied.
3 were way better than the
I
moments in
might I
2.
might give 3 like just a pinch nod on it because the stakes were higher, you know?
Mhm.
Um, honestly, I kinda still think it's not for me, it's volume 1, and then
Mhm.
honestly, I would put, the Christmas special as number 2. I would.
Oh, well, I mean, then we can count, like, 1/3 of Thor: Love and Thunder too. I don't think that counts.
Oh, the
That
Christmas
doesn't
special
count.
counts, bro.
That's a special. I'm talking about a movie.
That's
Movie.
because it's special, you see what I'm
Movie.
saying?
Oh, it's 'cause it's special.
Come on,
Special
Chad,
you.
tell me,
I'm gonna
if
get
it's
you
a
a
Christmas
helmet, some
special, does it
crayons. I'll
count?
give
It
you some
counts. It
special, pal. Coming at me with that. Well, then, okay. All right, fine. Was it wasn't better than the Christmas special to you then? I think it was better than the Christmas
It
special.
was better than the Christmas special, but I still kinda like the Christmas special a little more in a weird way.
I mean, it was funnier. It was definitely funnier, and there was no stakes
And I think
whatsoever.
that's what I expect from the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I expect to, like, have some nostalgia, I
This
expect to
movie was dark
laugh my
for
butt off. I didn't laugh a lot in this last one.
no. There was a few scenes like,
It was
what, the
like
opening
you
scene
said,
where
it was dark as hell, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. I saw a few people in there with little kids, like, I saw instant regret on a few of their faces. As soon as things started to go wrong, as soon as things started to go wrong, I saw instant regret on a few parents' faces, like, "Maybe we shouldn't have brought the six-year-old." Um, It was like, "Uh-oh." But, I mean, it was still good. It was still good. I mean, for me, it's Avengers, Winter Soldier, Endgame, Iron Man, Infinity War, Civil War, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, No Way Home, then Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and that just beat out Shang-Chi for me. That's my top 10. That's my MCU rounded. No specials, no streaming, nothing, just the movies released.
so the show we can't put the shows in there?
I didn't even think about it. I mean, I would have added Werewolf by Night and it wouldn't have even made the top
I
10.
would put Loki in my top 10.
Well, that's a show. I don't consider shows. I was going to give you the specials because I
Yeah,
I
I
think
really
you were right. The
thinking we
specials
have
are like
season
small
2 coming
feature
up,
movies.
actually.
Yeah, so I'm giving you the specials thing, but to
Yeah,
me, Werewolf by Night would have knocked it out of the top 10. Then you're talking about an 11th place at best for me.
yeah.
Because I mean, let's be honest, still penultimate Marvel movie to me is still Avengers. Endgame is right up there, but Winter Soldier even beats Endgame for me because it was just so
Oh,
different.
for me, I think Avengers number 1 is still my number 1
Yeah.
MCU movie of all time,
Yeah.
hands
Because
down.
nothing had been done like that, man. There was nothing that ever had been done like that. That was dope. That was so
Dan,
Dan. What's up, you gorgeous
Dan, you know
skeleton over
exactly how
here?
to hit me where it counts. Yes, sir.
Good lord. But yeah, I mean, it was good. But if I have to count Werewolf by Night, not even top 10. But I hear clowns out there like top 3 ever Marvel movies, and I'm like, are you 12? Because you had to have missed the last 10 years, because that's ridiculous. It is not top 3. It definitely is probably the best trilogy. I would give it the best trilogy in Marvel. Maybe
Over
second place.
Avengers?
No, no. Is second place to Captain America trilogy. I mean, because Captain America's got Captain America, then it's got Winter Soldier, and then it's got Civil War. And I would say it's definitely the best trilogy because unfortunately the Thor trilogy, The Lost World sucked. I'm not even going to talk about The Last Abomination. That doesn't make it. It's still a trilogy in my mind. It ended after Ragnarok. Thor ended after Ragnarok. We're
Well,
not we're not
can we
talking
throw
about.
Spider-Man in there? Because I think that might be one of my favorite trilogies.
Yeah, the first two were okay. They were good, but No Way Home was the best, which is weird, right? I mean,
I almost throw Civil War in there too. I feel like that's when he came out. I mean, that's his
that's when
introduction.
him and Black Panther debuted. Now
You know what I mean? I mean, I
that are
might throw
those
that
are
as
two
part of the
first
Spider-Man.
appearances.
So
No, no, I agree. Spider-Man and Black Panther both debuted in Civil War, and those were two great introductions. into a very busy movie. Civil War is a lot of people still consider that, not one of their favorite movies, but as far as like multi, person movies, it is definitely one of the best, I think. I think Civil War is heinously underrated for a lot of people, but there's so many great movies that were the MCU that I still consider penultimate. I mean, when I look at my list, and I have it written down, unfortunately, um, eight eight of the no, sorry, seven of the top 10 were all before Endgame. You know, everything else since then, No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, eight were, yeah, there's only two that have been since then, and that's No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And it was almost a tie with Shang-Chi. And if I get to count Werewolf by Night, then Guardians of the Galaxy 3 didn't even make it. I mean, it was good. It was good. It was still good. It was definitely one of the best Marvel movies
Shout out
going.
to E-Man. He kind of makes a good point. It was good, but I'm kind of with the critics on this one too. I got complaints about, the teasing of somebody dying. I got the complaints about Star-Lord not getting the girl, Adam Warlock. We don't even want to talk about Adam Warlock. I don't
I
know.
mean,
And Legion of Paper said something earlier. It doesn't. I mean, I know we got the post-credit scene where they say Star-Lord will be back,
yeah,
and we saw the new team, right?
yep.
But it didn't really set up anything.
And James Gunn said the new team should go forward without him as long as the director brings out his own voice in it and doesn't just try and redo a James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I don't know if I want to see another Guardians of the Galaxy movie, to be totally honest, but I do love Rocket. I 100%. My care about Rocket in the Guardians of the Galaxy like just leapt up tenfold. 100%. Like they did in the holiday special and in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, they did something very great. Was they allowed us to focus on Drax and Mantis in the holiday special, and they allowed us to focus on Nebula and Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And that gave us something special in my mind. I mean, we all knew Groot wasn't going to die. They already killed him once, you know.
How about
So
this? What is it? What do we call him? Omega level Groot now? Did you see? Did you see him at the end? Like
yeah, that was dope. That was dope. He went
that was
kaiju
pretty.
Groot.
That I will say is pretty cool. I do like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I did like at the end too that we understood him because,
Hey, Dan makes a good point too. The whole trilogy about becoming family, and then the family bailed on each other in the end. I mean, you're not wrong.
well, yeah. I mean, first movie was about his mom, second movie was about his dad, and the third movie was about his pet raccoon, his trash panda. Um
Yeah, King Groot. Okay, King Groot. Yeah.
yeah, is King Groot? I thought it was Kaiju Groot. I thought they said go Kaiju Groot. Go Kaiju mode. I thought they called him to go Kaiju. So, yeah, that's what I thought it was. Maybe I'm
Anything to
wrong.
make another action figure, right?
Well, that would be cool. But I did love all the arms with all the guns, Groot. That was cool as shit. Where Groot's just got like 10 hands all of a sudden and they're all shooting.
I
That
mean,
was cool.
and Dan, that's the thing, right? You're not wrong, but it's how that actor portrayed being quote unquote dumb, right? So how about this one, for example, right? I got a good example. I talked to somebody on the phone the other day. They mentioned this to me. So it's like kind of like when Thor, right? When he first came to Earth. Now Thor's old. He knows about all Asgardian cosmic type stuff. Well, when it comes to Earth culture, it's pretty dumb. You know what I'm saying? He
Mhm.
doesn't get jokes. He doesn't get manners. He just, oh, he drinks a beer. Boom, I'll have another, right? Like, so there's a way to play on that dumbness and make it funny. What they did with Adam Warlock was just play on him being dumb and made him look dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? There's a way to make somebody dumb and it be funny,
Well,
which I would
there's a way
expect
to make
with
somebody
Guardians of the
naive,
Galaxy, right?
but they made him dumb.
But they just
Well,
made him dumb and dumb, dude, like Dumb and Dumber. I'm like,
but
come on, bro.
But dude, this is a James Gunn movie. What do you expect? You saw Suicide Squad, right? You've seen his other outings. To be honest, the man only has one good trilogy, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't understand all the faith that everybody keeps on putting in James Gunn to run a perfect DC universe. I really don't get it. Please, somebody educate me. Somebody come in here and tell me how the James Gunn that made Scooby Doo live action. We gave him a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. He did great with it. I think Suicide Squad 2 was mid at best. Mid at best. And we gave him the entire DC universe. So I don't know. Somebody changed my mind. I don't understand why everybody's so upset when they realize this is a James Gunn movie. This is what he does, and it's not that deep. It's not that deep. This is a guy making Jackson Pollock jokes about the Star-Lord's ship in the first movie. I mean, it's not that deep. I don't know. I get that we all need something to enjoy, but at the same time, too, in my mind, it kind of gets to like, I just still need to be mad about something now. So I don't know. I didn't expect a lot, and I went and I had a good time. I didn't cry. I welled up a couple of times. I got my feels on, but I heard a
Well,
lot of
yeah,
people
I mean,
coming out with like
I guess
actual
that's the thing,
tears.
right?
I didn't do
And
it.
I understand people wanting to be upset about something as long as it's valid. I feel like a lot of the reasons why people are upset are valid. If we look back at Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2, right, there were complaints, right? Ego being, you know, considered a
Ego being all
celestial,
of a sudden a
like,
celestial
right?
that can turn into a human that
But I
was
mean, other
Star-Lord's
than
dad,
that, I
which
mean, there wasn't too many complaints with those movies.
we didn't care. Dude, we just had Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, we didn't even know who these people were. If you knew who Star-Lord was, he was a prince. He offed his dad. He had a sister, Angela. You know, we've got it was just it didn't Warlock wasn't needed. He had no influence on the movie. He was just 100% just a throw-in at that point to get somebody excited about a potential character in the future. I honestly think that there was just a couple of people that collected comics and just say, dude, I've got a bunch of these fucking Warlock comics. Would you mind just throwing him in your movie so I can make a little money? And I'm like, okay.
I also
I
agree with what
feel like
Scout
that.
Comics said. I mean, he's got a stone in his head, but it's not the soul stone. Like,
Yeah, I didn't get it.
why even put the damn stone?
Oh, I don't know why we had Adam Warlock in it, but I really don't. I don't get the outrage though either, because I mean it was just like he had such a small part to play, and that's James Gunn. That's James Gunn, guys. That's James Gunn. I'm sorry,
I
it's just
felt
James Gunn.
nothing.
It's just James Gunn. All right, all right. What I don't know. I yeah yeah.
It's
I,
like a split
honestly,
50-50 of the audience here, you know?
yeah. I would take the 40th anniversary showing Return of the Jedi as penultimate viewing in the last week. I would agree with Phil on that.
That's cool.
That was dope. That was the kind of nostalgia I needed in my mind. But at the end of the day, Guardians of the Galaxy, I would say on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give it a 3.8, 3.9. And that's saying a lot for the Marvel movies in the last year, okay? 3.8 to 3.9. I would give it that.
I mean, you're harsher than me. I'd give it a 4.
I don't know, man. I've been giving ratings around so much that every time I give an even number, I feel bad because I'm just like, I don't know. Was it really a full 4? Because there's some movies I've seen that I would grade a 4. Like I would have said Shang-Chi's a 4.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at the same time, I'm only comparing it to like what we've had recently.
Yeah.
If I'm comparing it to Guardians 1 and 2, yeah, it's like a 3.
Yeah. That to me is I'm thinking like overall MCU.
I'm comparing it to like what I've had to digest for the past year, and compared to what I've had this past year, I'll take another one of these. Okay, I'll take another one of these movies.
Yeah. Yeah. 100. I hope we could get some more that are 3.9s. I hope so. Brandon, I agree. Honestly, Florence and the Machine at the end, the dog days.
Not all grades are the same, too.
Look at this man right there. He's ready. He knows.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
I'd say C. Look, I was
Whoa,
being generous.
whoa.
I was being generous, and Theo's coming in here with a 4. I like, okay, I'm being good. There we go. There we go, guys. I don't know. It was I don't know. It was okay. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the what it was, a movie about Rocket. It was Rocket's arc. And I cared. I did care about Rocket. I cared more about Rocket than I ever had. And I was severely touched with his story in a cool way. I was. So, it was, hey, all right, Swag and I are pretty much on the same one there. That's close enough. But mm, it was good. It wasn't great. It was good enough for what we've had lately to feel great, but it wasn't great overall.
I mean, I guess that's saying something, right? There's not really much recently to compare it to.
No, no. So, I mean, that to me is why it's still not a 4. I'm
All
gonna
right, who's
reserve a 4.
excited for the Marvels?
Oh man. I have hope for it just because I love Camilla Khan so much. I have hope for it. But at the same time too, I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not gonna talk about honestly, you know what? Let's talk about Marvel. Writer's strike. Let's talk about Marvel in the writer's strike. Now we've got what was it? Daredevil just stopped totally, ground to a halt production. The only things that are actually moving forward right now on any kind of considerate of time is Deadpool 3 and what else?
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Cover Price to make a good point.
Yeah.
I got high hopes for the Flash, man, but I'm a Michael Keaton fan, so
Yes. I would have be there for anything. I still hate
I don't
Ezra
think I
Miller.
could
He's
not like it
taking
if
that
he's
whole
in it,
movie for me, but I'm at the same time, I mean, are we just all also in a place where the superhero movies have kind of had so much suckage lately? How fantastic,
You
how
mean the
high are the mountaintops truly? Because we've been so spoiled. This is what happens with Star Wars fans. Like they all got all these movies and they all got pissed. And it's the same thing with Marvel fans. Like we've all had all these movies, and are we just getting mad?
you mean the famous quote, superhero fatigue?
Yeah. Yeah. Are the superhero fans. God, I can't use my words. Words. I'm not drinking tonight yet. Um the superhero fatigue. Is it real amongst the superhero fans? Because I have to ask myself, I feel like we're all getting super snobbish considering where we were 10 years ago and we were remembering like Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. Thor was just wearing a couple of like fur pelts, and
Hey,
it
I can
was
respect that, Legion.
the
Yeah,
70s.
I agree with you. Yeah, not fatigue, just letdowns.
Well, I mean, but that's just it, right? We climbed the mountaintop, people. We went to Endgame. We had the Avengers. This is something you and I talked about a long time ago, Theo. It's not necessarily that we're tired of superhero movies. The problem is that mountain was so high. It wasn't a plateau. You can't stay there forever. We're in, how are we going to climb that mountain again? How are we going to get
we're in
that
like
kind of fur?
superhero recession right now.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Maybe it's not fatigue. Maybe it's a recession. A recession in quality, maybe. Recession in
Brandon,
writing.
what's up, brother? But
Yeah.
I'm nervous as hell
I
with that sentence right there.
I
I,
don't I don't want
I'm
them
nervous.
anytime soon. Right now, I want
I'm
Marvel to
nervous,
blow up
man.
and start over.
I'm really nervous right now.
I hope Marvel just blows up and starts over. I do. I do. I think the MCU should start over entirely. I don't think it should have any
I'm really
history.
upset Hugh Jackman's coming back. I said it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm really upset.
Yeah,
I was
Marvel
excited for
blow it
like a
up,
day, but then I took it in and thought about it. Man, I really don't want him to come back.
bro. You were the one calling me like Disney just needs to back up a truck of money,
I
and
know.
all of
I
a sudden
know.
it happened, and we were just like, well,
That's because
shit.
I didn't think it was gonna happen. And then it happened, and I'm like, wait a
You
minute.
didn't knock on wood, Theo. You jinxed the entire MCU. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. Are you living with regret now?
A little bit, a little bit.
Feige was listening to you, that one phone call we had, and you're just like, Phil, they just need to back up a truck, a Brinks truck, a money, and give it to Hugh, and he'll come back. And now
It's
you're
just
like, fuck, he's back.
I know, but it's like, dude, we're not gonna. He's not gonna do. He's not
We're
gonna do it
just
long term.
realizing, yeah, we had that conversation 2, 3 years ago, and this is where we're at. This is, and we're still aging, and everybody's getting older, and we're realizing these guys can't go on forever. That's the problem. So I think Marvel should honestly they reboot Spider-Man every 4 years to keep the high school kids and the grade school kids still interested in a young Spider-Man. They should just
Yes,
restart. Save your movie money and buy and read more
I
comics.
love that. I love
You're
that.
not wrong, but at the same time too, there's still something magical about seeing them on screen. I won't lie. But yeah, just blow up the Marvel universe and start over. That's my thing. I'll shut up. What do you
So
think on
I
that?
did hear that Blade was going to be rated R. I also heard that Blade was delayed again, though.
No, it was. Well, yeah, it's the writer's strike. That's what we talked about. It's got
So yeah,
nothing to do
let's
with,
get into the writer's strike then.
yeah, it's 100% the writer's strike right now because they just hired the writers 2 weeks ago. You know, they got the writers to come in and do treatments from True Detective, which I hope you saw that True Detective portion I told you about. And Marshala Ali's, favorite writer that got him that Academy Award is now on the Blade team. But unfortunately, that was like a week, 2 weeks right before the writer's strike. So that got halted, just like Daredevil Born Again now is
I
halted
saw that.
production.
Yeah, Daredevil got paused.
We know yeah, actually the only things that are getting wrapped up are Deadpool 3, the Marvels, and Secret Invasion. Those are the only three things that are safe right now from the rewrites. And honestly, the Marvels was going through because Feige wanted to make sure that these movies were getting, because I mean Marvel knows, it's not a secret. Marvel's not stupid. Kevin Feige's hearing us. Kevin Feige's seeing the results. They know they let things get out of control. He knows he let too many kids play in the candy store of what was Marvel, and they made things that didn't matter, and they made things that weren't good
Too
and that
many
weren't
Ralph
well written.
Boners.
Yeah, we got too many. We got too much. We got bonered too much. Um, that sounds like something Godly would say.
Chris, I keep hearing that, and you know I love me some Keanu, but man, that dude better not play Wolverine.
Yeah,
Don't you dare tell me that dude's playing Wolverine.
Keanu can only play two roles in the MCU, and I would agree with one
Yeah,
of them being Ghost Rider, 100%.
I like Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I know.
I
I know
do.
you're a Silver Surfer fan with that. I
Silver
think
Surfer.
Ghost Rider's the only one that tracks for me. I see him much better in Star Wars than I do in, because you can be old in Star Wars and still be bad as you could be old in Star Wars and still be badass. But when it comes to Marvel, eventually
See?
it's kind
Yeah.
of a young man's game.
He's got that monotone, like I mean, it would suck not to see his face, obviously, because he's going to be
It
all
wouldn't even
freaking
be his
silver.
body, bro. It wouldn't even be his body.
Right, right.
Keanu's great, but he's not that ripped to
But
be the surfer. It would just be a CGI voice thing. You may as well cast him as Galactus at this point. So
and Thomas, I kind of agree with you. He like he's good at certain roles, but
you're
he's
right.
not a. And if you're listening, I apologize, sir. I am a fan. Don't get me wrong, but he's not a well-ranged actor, right?
No,
He's not a DiCaprio. He's not a Robert Downey Jr. He's not a Denzel.
he's
Not that,
perfect for what
he's not
he is
that type of
asked for
actor.
every
You know what I
single
mean?
time.
He's good with little roles, with like not little roles, but like little lines.
Yeah, yeah. We don't go to dramatic. Keanu could play Psylocke and it would still be awesome. Damn it, Matt! I can't take you anywhere.
Touche, touche.
I mean, no, I do love Keanu, but to me, he makes more sense in Star Wars than he does in the Marvel universe right now. I just don't see where he fits per se outside of perhaps a Ghost Rider. And I only say that because we would only spend so much time focusing on him like we do everything else, just a little bit.
You're
So
probably right. He probably would have been a better warlock.
probably. Well, that's because he wouldn't have been able to be that funny. He can't be that funny. That's not. He can't even do that anymore.
Whoa, Swaggle House is skipping 20 years in the future. Look at that. There you go.
Yeah, make him immortal. That would work. Yeah, I'd be okay with it. But at the same time too, this writer strike is going to play hell with our favorite
I mean, he even said
movies
though
and
he
TV.
wants to play Wolverine. The problem with that,
He
like,
said that
well,
like 2 years ago.
one like you said, he doesn't have a great body. Let's just call it what it is. I don't care what he does. You're probably not going to fix that.
We
His,
love him in a suit. We
his
don't love
entire
him
acting
shirtless.
career, he's never been able to fix that. So let's just not act like he can do it now. Number two, if you're talking about this guy, I don't even care if it's Keanu. You're talking about this guy lacing up the claws after Hugh Jackman. You might as well just commit career suicide. What are you talking about?
You can't.
No, you can't, dude. No, that's my problem with Hugh coming back. Nobody stands a chance now to play that role. We were just getting to the point of being like, okay, I can accept somebody else now.
Yeah.
Like it's what? It was 8 years, right? It was like almost a decade.
Yeah.
We were just getting there, dude. And now he's coming back. It's like nobody else.
Everybody here, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Just we never remember to do that. So if we haven't pissed you off already, please like this show. And if you are in agreement with us, definitely like this show. But if we have made you mad, buckle up. It'll only get worse. So you may as well subscribe and just be mad all the time. It's
shave his head and throw him in that X chair.
Throw him in the X chair. Oh God, could you imagine him as Professor X? That's just it. I can only imagine Keanu as so many different things. But to me, I could see him in a Darth mask being super peeved. I could see it. I could see it. That would be he needs 4 cycles of roids just to get to Hugh Jackman. Just 4 cycles. Bro, he's gonna need a lot more than that. He's going to need a lot more of that. Captain Positive himself. Thank you, brother, for jumping in. You're still being too positive, thinking he would only need 4 to get there. The man's over 50. He's going to need a lot more than that. It's going to take some time and some Neo-esque.
That's how I know we're not going to get another Wolverine, man. We're going to get an X-23 or Dakin.
Or we just reboot the entire universe.
But that's my point. Even if you reboot, we still won't be able to embrace the next guy as Wolverine now that he's coming back in Deadpool 3.
I think
not only is he the first guy to play this character, right? And kill it. No, man, you know this. It's like, okay, how about we wait like 2 years? Robert Downey Jr. comes back as Tony Stark in Secret Wars. And then you're telling me in 2 years, we get a new guy casted as Tony Stark Iron Man. You're going to look at that guy and be like, oh, yeah, I can't wait for this guy to be. No,
I think they focus on other characters instead of ones at first to kind of give us some different tastes, but just reboot entirely and slowly insert him in over the next few years.
You're only going to compare him to the guy that killed it, you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you still that, the best Superman was still Christopher Reeve. 100%. It's not.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. Everybody freaks out. Everybody freaks out. That is not the same one that we have right now, but still Christopher Reeve is the best Superman. I'm going to live and die by that. Could pull off Turok. Yeah, I would agree with that, Philly Phil. I could see Turok. That would work. He's got the hair. Get him on a dinosaur. Honestly, holy shit. I could actually see that. I hate to dude, you're smiling because you actually think it too. Right now, you're thinking it yourself. You're like, I could see Keanu Reeves on a velociraptor with lasers on it with a bow and arrow. I
wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it. I would go see it. I wouldn't hate it.
I'd go to see it.
I would pay to see that. I won't lie. That would be. Damn it, Phil. That was a good one. I'll give you that, dude. That was. Yeah, he could pull off Turok. I would watch that. I would 100% watch that.
Yeah.
Oh God. At first I thought it was a joke, and then I thought about it. I'm like, oh shit. No, I could actually see that. Yeah, Kazar and the
Colossus. You say that now, but then when they get the new guy and he's not just as good or better than Hugh Jackman, then we'll talk. That's all I'm saying right there. Okay.
Well, I mean, look at all the trouble they're going to right now for Mark Hamill with Star Wars. They cast a guy that looks just like him so they can physically remap his face to then use Mark Hamill's voice to go over it.
Nobody else is going to be Luke Skywalker.
Maybe we're going to look for a de-aged Hugh Jackman in 20 years.
That's my point. Like we could get away with it, somebody else being the Hulk, right? Because there's been so many, and even Mark Ruffalo. I mean, he's okay, but some people like the Edward Norton one. Some people like the guy that played it before him. Some people are Lou fans, right? So the Hulk fandom is pretty split on who your Hulk is. There's only been one motherfucker to play Wolverine. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's the problem. That's the curse of Marvel, man. They did get the casting right. They do get casting right. But unfortunately, they get it so damn right. We can't let them go. We can't let them go. That is the one thing that DC did well.
Is they sucked at their casting.
Yeah. We've had like what 10 Batmen now.
So it's like, oh, Ben Affleck, you either love or hate him. We're okay with the Robert Pattinson. And some people love or hate him. They're like, oh, we're gonna get a new Batman for the Court of Owls. And people are like, okay.
Dude, okay. At some point we were excited about George Clooney being Batman.
Don't say that. You don't say that.
At some point, America was excited about George Clooney as Batman. So
as long as you didn't say Val Kilmer, I think we can still be friends.
I like Val Kilmer more than I like freaking George Clooney. You liked George Clooney as Batman more than you liked Val Kilmer?
I didn't like either of them.
Okay, but I don't care. Give me one or the other. I didn't mind him.
I would
George
say
Clooney didn't even get to play Batman.
I would say George Clooney, while both of their Batman iterations sucked, I would say George Clooney is a better Bruce Wayne. 100%.
Oh,
100% for being the showboaty playboy billionaire. Yes. Okay, Val Kilmer was
4 minutes as that, maybe.
Oh man, he was just soft, monotone. Let me put on some glasses. Like,
no, he was no. Val Kilmer was a better Bruce Wayne than frickin' George Clooney. We're gonna do a movie night, Theo. When you come to Detroit, we're gonna do a movie night, and we're gonna side by side that shit, and we're gonna sit like, which was the worst movie? You know what? That's what we should do. We shouldn't do like what was the best. We should do a what was the worst. That should be our competition. What was the worst with Comics and Chaos? And we'll do a watch party to see which was the worst. Who was the worst Bruce Wayne? I think in my mind, George Clooney was the worst of both. Nailed the arrogance of old Bruce. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I like Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck did a good Bruce. He actually did a decent Bat overall for what he was written for. But like in what was it? The Dawn of Justice thing, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
I think Ben Affleck did a good job. Yeah.
I don't think Ben Affleck is the worst Batman we've had.
He's no Christian Bale, but he's no Michael Keaton.
Christian Bale.
And Christian Bale's no Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton still to me is Batman.
That's blasphemy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Dude, the Batman movies weren't that.
Fine. You know what? This is what we're going to do too. We're going to watch all the Michael Keaton Batman movies. And then we're going to watch all the Christian Bale Batman movies.
Dude, those were just Christopher Nolan movies. There was no shiny Gotham. There wasn't all this bright crap. That wasn't Gotham City, bro. I don't care who you are. That was
like you
Metropolis.
That's like if you want to be Batman today, that's the movie you watch. Okay, if you want to go be Batman in imaginary fantasy land, okay, let's go watch Michael Keaton.
You know why Batman was never in today? Because they couldn't even make up a city that he supposedly belonged to. Okay. Gotham. Whatever. Yeah, what's up, Journey? How's it going, dude?
Yeah, look,
Michael Keaton's Batman.
Not into split. Look, see?
Michael Keaton is Batman for me. Because that Tim Burton universe is the comics like kind of Batman, that crazy, gritty, dark, that world. To me, was the world in which Batman exists. That movie that I watched with Christopher Nolan, with all the shiny, gorgeous glass and these giant buildings, and it just didn't seem Gotham-y to me. To me, that's why it didn't make sense for him to be Batman. It just didn't. It didn't track for me.
Thomas, that's a bold statement.
Whoa.
That's a bold statement right there. Okay, I don't
Whoa.
know about that.
Whoa.
You're
Oh,
talking
look,
about even over George Clooney, Val Kilmer, bro. Like, yeah, come
that
on.
wasn't a Batman movie. That was a Mr. Freeze movie. That was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. That wasn't even a Batman movie, dude. It wasn't. That's why I don't think George Clooney can even count or compare to Val Kilmer. He didn't have to play Batman. He just showed up
Yes,
to
yeah, that's the
he
right
just showed up
answer,
for the
guys.
Schwarzenegger movie. Batman for people allergic to the gym. Man, I don't know. He was still the Batman to me. 100% the Batman.
That was
Oh,
fun.
Arnett. Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
First time. I love that. Again. First time. Oh, God, it was great.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
might agree,
Batman
I
was
might
the
agree
worst
with you
part
on
of
that.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might agree with you on that.
Yeah. There was a lot of great performances in that movie. But
Uh,
yeah,
anything else delayed with the writer's strike though?
we're on Batman movies. We're not even talking writer's strike. What are you talking about?
No, but we just deviated. How about we come back to
Bringing it back to Earth. Boy, look at this is what we talk about with chaos, folks. This is the chaos. We have no train of thought. It's just all cabooses all the way. Um, and what if they made a movie and then wrote a comic? That would be hilarious. Well, I mean, that's kind of what we get with video games.
I think they've done that though.
That's what we get with video games, right? I mean, it's definitely happened. We like Stranger Things.
Oh no, and because I just picked up an issue #1, and I believe it's from 1990, 1991. But Back to the Future. That was a
Mhm.
movie, and then they made it a
Yep.
comic book.
Yep.
Boom.
But yeah, I mean, dude, everything's gonna get delayed. Everything's gonna get delayed. We're going back to reality TV, guys. Buckle up. Actually, you know what? I'm 100% gonna be spending more time on YouTube because there's gonna be nothing to watch because I can't do reality TV. I can't do Vanderpumps or
Oh, and
Road
yeah, they did it
Rules
with
or
Star Wars. Star Wars was a movie, and then they made it into a comic.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, even earlier than that. So yeah, actually, that was the big surprise hit. They Marvel didn't need this like we're gonna do this maybe the Star Wars thing, and all of a sudden the movie blew up, and they're like, shit, get that Star Wars comic out.
I think they did it with Star Trek too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%
because
because they
issue
use
#1 is a photo
it's the
of
pictures
the
from the
movie.
TV show. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, there's been quite a few movies that were made
Well,
first and inspired.
Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the westerns, right? Let's go back to the western comics. Gunsmoke, things like that, in
Hmm.
black and white. They were doing that. They've been doing that for a while. It's been
Oh come on, who doesn't remember Meteor Man?
Meteor Man was dope. I remember those days. Who remembers Blank Man? Yeah, there's a pullback. Anybody remember Blank Man? Raise their
Wow,
hand.
just whipped out the Blank Man.
If you remember Blank Man, we're people. You're my kind of people if you remember Blank Man. If you don't know what Blank Man is, don't even at me because we're
Yeah,
not the
you
same.
better go watch that
We're
now.
not the same.
Leave and go watch that. Okay.
If you haven't seen Blank Man, we are not the same. Seeing that as a teenage boy, it was just, oh my God. Oh man, exactly, dude. Every single time, the Wayans brothers, every single time, they can't miss.
Yo, he
I don't
killed it
care.
in the day.
They what?
He killed it in the day. Mo Money, let's go.
Dude, Damon did it, but I mean, anything his brother though produced and that he was in as well was ridiculous. I mean, all those. Well, I don't even want to say the scary movies, but the don't be a menace,
don't even
don't be
say
a
this.
menace while drinking your gin and juice. That movie's got way too much stuff. Vin, what's up, brother? All right, okay, bringing it back now. The last thing we wanted to talk about was big news, especially in the comics and chaos front. The Fantast Collection. Our friend Darren from the show, who you guys have had the opportunity to meet before, right? This opportunity doesn't come around very often when we get these situations, but we made a friend. Believe it or not, somebody actually decided that they liked us.
Who
And
knew?
I know it's basically unheard of. But that being the case, sorry, my camera's being fuzzy and wonky all of a sudden. Um, that being the case, we're going to have the opportunity to bring the Fantast Collection to the comic book community. Something that we didn't know we would do. I mean, when we got the opportunity to meet Darren, it was here on the show, and we just wanted to talk about comics and life and his story and things of that nature. I mean, we had the opportunity to just make a general friend, and this kind of came out of nowhere very recently. With the opportunity to help bring that collection to the world in a bigger way here via social media and Instagram, right?
Yeah, pretty amazing. What were you saying? Like over a million comics?
Over a million comics.
Over a million comics.
The books I
Long
got.
story short, guys, we've agreed to do a type of consignment with him where once a month I'll be flying out to Michigan to meet up with Phil in person. We'll be doing IG Live claim sales. And basically, if you guys have ever been to one of my sales, you can expect the same type of format, like letter, grade, price, make offers, don't be shy type thing. But we will be having a very, very large variety of books coming to you very soon. I'm talking everything from $10
to $10,000
to 10,000 plus dollars.
plus everything, things from the 1930s to the 2010s. I mean, I've never
Hey, a
seen.
million comics. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna try.
They don't have that many ready for us to grade. But there will be slabs, there will be raw, there will be everything in between. But the coolest thing is, though, too, if you don't have the opportunity, please check out our previous episode with Fantast Comics. Please, I will put a link in the description if you're catching this on the rewind. There's an amazing story to this collection, and that's the reason why we're getting involved in this. To be honest, people ask, like, hey, would you guys help us sell my comics? That happens. People ask, like, hey, would you go live and help me sell this or sell that? That happens. This is a collection that has a story that is worth telling, that is worth knowing. And it definitely touched both you and I. We both definitely had, predispositions and opinions. And after that conversation, it was amazing. So, yep, that's the guy, Tom. Thomas, that's the dude with the crazy
That's what we'll
books.
be selling. Yeah, we'll actually be at his home doing these sales. So he's gonna have a team shipping all these books. Phil will be there on the camera. I'll be selling. We'll be taking turns. It'll be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, probably like 10,
It's gonna be a marathon.
10 to
It's gonna
12
be
hours a day type thing.
it's gonna be a marathon. We're going to be moving stock the entire time until we've sold everything that they've got ready for us. We'll be working and moving, and this is going to happen
my first time
on a monthly
doing
basis.
an in-person sale like that.
Yeah, 100%. This will be this is a big thing for us, and plus, I'll be out there beforehand getting some film ready and talking to them about the books and getting some stuff set up. But we'll be simulcasting this the entire time. It'll be on both of our IGs. That way we've got different camera angles going. So if you can see a version from A angle versus B angle, we'll have somebody doing a close-up and somebody doing a far away. So they could say, hey, show me Z, or let's go back to A, or whatever it may be. We've got the opportunity to do that. So it's gonna be pretty dope, dude. And plus, you're gonna be in my backyard on a regular basis. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, appreciate that, guys. It's you know me, I always try to bring good stuff when I do the IG live sales. I mean, I sell on Whatnot, but IG, that's where I come from. That's my roots. So we always try to do a little bit something special. So I've never had the opportunity to bring the types of books that this man is going to be dishing out.
I haven't seen anybody with a single show
It's
that's
gonna
had the
be
opportunity
something special. It's gonna be some.
These are things you see in heritage auctions, bro.
Yeah.
So until Heritage goes live on Instagram,
Hey, we should do that. Dibs on Batman.
it's just it's not here. Yeah, I'll go in cosplay. I'll show up, and he'll just be John Wick again. No, if you're gonna do cosplay, you're gonna do real cosplay. You can't be John Wick. Can't be any Keanu Reeves universe character.
But it works.
No, that's not cosplay.
And
That's just
it is. And you've been with me at cons, even when I'm like kind of like half-assing it, right? People still come up and be like, John Wick.
And as soon as we're outside of the convention, people just stand behind you thinking you're the bouncer. I know, okay? I'm there. It happened. Theo and I were standing outside waiting to go in because we were having a smoke outside in New York City, and people lined up behind us because I'm standing next to Theo and he's kind of just in front of the door there, and everybody thinks he's the bouncer. Some dude handed Theo his ID. Okay. This dude twice my size. And if you've seen both Theo and I, you'll know there's a dude that's twice my size walking up to Theo and be like, here's my ID, sir. Can I go in? Or there was people waiting behind, like, can we go in now? You know, like they waited behind us for a minute. I was just like, who the hell are these guys? And why are they standing here? Can we go in now? And the other, yeah. and the worst part is he doesn't say like, no, I don't work here. I'm just dressed up nice. He just looks at him just like, yeah. And he moves.
That's called respect.
You dick.
You respect a man in a black suit, okay?
Oh God, that was one of my favorite nights. One of my favorite nights. Yeah, we should have been charging coverage. Actually, I think we mentioned that. That's like we should just have you up there just taking cash from people.
And then the real doctor came out and he's like, you work here? No.
Oh man, it would have been great. It would have been great. Dude, what a night. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. Be Spider-Gwen, John Wick verse. It has been an hour and 20 minutes tonight, guys. Thank you all for making it out here this evening. It's been amazing. Is there anything else you wanted to get into before we call it a night, Theo?
No. Last time I checked, I think we're at like 943 subs. So if you haven't already subbed up to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. We're almost at 1,000. We would
sincerely appreciate that.
Yeah, we're almost at 1,000. Hey, we're at 945. I just refreshed. So we're getting there.
2 more people.
We're getting there. Yeah. So 945. When we get to 1,000, we're gonna do a special giveaway. 1,000 is a big number for us on YouTube. We started a little bit over 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Almost 3 months now. So
3 months now. 3 months.
It's been a pretty fantastic ride so far. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. We're doing conventions. We're doing, well, we can't talk about everything, but we're doing a lot of cool stuff. So it's been amazing. We couldn't do it without any of you guys. So thank you so much for making it out tonight. We appreciate. Bro, you just have to invite me. I only need an invitation. I'm like a vampire. I don't show up until somebody asks and says it's okay. All right. So until then, but I'm always down for fun. So at any rate, brother, anything special going on this week that we want to make sure everybody knows about?
Just the general jazz. Whatnot Wednesday sale, 8 o'clock. I think I might do a IG live sale Friday night. Maybe like a power hour type sale, nothing too crazy. And then, yeah, we got to get a preview going for the Fantast sale. I know Phil's going to be out there on Friday. So if you don't follow One True Nerd King, Rage Theo on IG, make sure you do. We'll be posting up some more previews of the upcoming Fantast sale for me.
Previews coming. I'll probably do a little live while I'm out there too, just to kind of get everybody familiar with the area and see what's up. But yeah, so everything coming from here. Star Wars on Thursday, if you can make it. Call your mom. And in the meantime, yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful day. Beautiful day, beautiful week. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. And remember to please like, comment, and subscribe. And Vin, it's going to be on both of ours. We're going to be simulcasting the entire thing. So Rage Theo, One True Nerd King, we're both there at the same time. two different angles gets you guys more books to be seen. It keeps things moving faster for us because there's over 1 million comics. So one camera is ridiculous. So yeah, until then, I guess
Always a pleasure, gents.
take care, everybody. Remember, collect what you love. It is mental health month as well. Remember to check in on your friends and your family, and yeah, tell your mom I said hi.